Net Lease TV! Hey, this is Chris, Marabella, Net Lease TV on the go. I'm here with Chris, Matthews Real Estate. We're here in beautiful El Segundo. It's an awesome day. We're here and it is Tuesday, June 21st, 2022. And we're going to talk to Chris about his brokerage, his Net Lease brokerage, what he's up to. So thanks again for having me, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
It's an awesome day, beautiful weather.
Yeah.
So this is pretty close to LA. Like, describe this area.
So El Segundo, we're actually not in Los Angeles City. It's the only city that's outside of it. Right?
Okay.
So really cool area by the beach. You're near Manhattan Village, Manhattan Point, all the fine dining. You start going south. Less than 10 minutes from LAX. So I love El Segundo. It's a great beach city. But you're also near, Gardena and Redondo.
Do you know there's a cool coffee, bean, and tea right off the freeway?
Yeah.
Do you know that location?
It's a small old one. Yeah.
Now, is that it's heading towards LAX. Is that off of Compton? What has kind of happened? There's a Net Lease market. I've seen. I think when the pandemic broke out, we said that a lot of buyers wanted to buy something right away because they thought that the 1031 exchange may be over with Biden, and a lot of new laws for apartments, so people were heading east to those tax-free states and less regulation states like, I don't know, Texas, Memphis, Tennessee, Florida, the states that were more friendly towards business, and there was less supply of net lease.
Less supply of total inventory.
So there was a less supply, but now the Federal Reserve is raising the federal funds rate, and they're tapering. They're selling the bonds that they did in 2009 and 2020, and the mortgage bonds, and that's causing rates, the 10-year Treasury, to go up. I think we were like 3.3. So at this point in the economic cycle, do you think it's a good time maybe for people that own net lease to maybe start to sell if they think cap rates may start creeping up?
Yeah, cap rates are certainly decompressing, and you're certainly seeing it right now in the market. So I think if you are interested, it's definitely worth the time to at least get some sort of feedback or appraisal from some real estate experts either in your area, or give us a call.
What would you do? Give them an opinion of value?
Yeah,
Chris?
we evaluate the lease that you have on the single tenant net lease, so we're checking out the tenant, the credit, the location, the real estate fundamentals and intrinsic value of the property itself. And then we give you an evaluation and a proposal.
Is it free, or do they have to sign up with you? Is there any kind of, there's no strings attached?
No. You have to follow Net Lease TV on YouTube, but other than that,
yes.
it's
you
free.
need to subscribe to Net Lease TV, right? Click it, punch it, hit it, subscribe to Net Lease TV. Thank you for that.
No problem.
And definitely comment to this episode. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
If you're a seller, you own net lease properties, comment. We'd like to hear from you. If you're a buyer in an exchange, comment to Chris and I. But go ahead, Chris. So
yeah, there's been a lot of decompression though, and a lot of activities. So I think if you are interested, if you have even a lease expiring and you're wondering, is it worth to go through the process?
So let me back you up. Do you have a lot of people that own net lease that have these shorter primary lease terms? They've owned it, they bought it a long time ago, they're older, they're scared. What's going to happen at the end of this lease? Is my tenant going to renew? Am I going to have to do tenant improvement? Leasing commissions that can be pretty costly. That's where somebody should maybe come to you. Because you have those opportunistic buyers that may want those shorter lease deals, right? They're willing to get their hands dirty, right?
And you have the developers who are looking at, these older strip malls that they can turn into multifamily or mixed-use developments. You have guys who are looking at these older Denny's restaurants, and they're taking them into In-N-Out drive-thrus or Chick-fil-A. So there's a lot of activity still on the development side. It's a lot of developers are smarter now, right? They're really analyzing sites. They're really putting the pencils down and seeing what's going to pencil out.
So let's get back to the sellers. So they call you. They maybe have 2 or 3 years remaining. They may want to consider exiting and then doing another exchange with you, right? On a brand new property with a longer term lease. And kind of just start all over. Maybe they're fully depreciated, right?
Yeah, 34 years have been up, and
they can go into a new deal, right?
Yep.
So that's another reason. If you're in the LA area and you want to meet Chris, we can either meet here in El Segundo at the Matthews office, or if you want to meet at my office, We have an office right at Beverly and Wilshire in Beverly Hills. We have an office in Costa Mesa, and we can kind of get a team together, start to analyze your existing property, right, Chris?
Yep. Analyze the existing property, show you what you can exchange into, and show you what inventory is available on those properties that you can exchange into.
And I'll go over the financing. I'll
Yep.
start to collect your tax returns, get your financial statement, and we'll start to put together like an Excel analysis to start to analyze. Now, we did do one video where algebraically I figured out a cash flow. So they can tell us, okay, this is the cash flow, approximate cash flow I want, and we could figure based on the loan and some different criteria how to try to get that cash flow through algebra.
Yeah.
We'll figure that analysis. Yeah. What do you think?
I like it. I saw a couple videos back. I had to download
So
it
you got a
myself.
lot. I'll put those videos up here in the cards or at the end of the video. Check out that episode. It's pretty good of Net Lease TV.
Yeah. You're definitely, if you're a single tenant net lease buyer, if you're thinking about buying, it's definitely a great time to get in.
And selling.
And selling. Well, we're going to get there, but if you have a lease expiring, I would definitely reach out. Hopefully it's me, but hopefully it's a professional in your area who knows that product type especially well. You know, I do a ton of retail leasing as my half of my
Oh, really?
job.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Really? You're doing a lot of leasing?
A lot of leasing. We run with Jersey Mike's is one of our corporate tenants. Also working with Crumble Cookies.
Nice.
Yeah, but I do a lot on the landlord side. So my listing and car.
So now, do you only lease in LA area, or can you go out of this footprint?
I do Los Angeles primarily.
Primarily Los Angeles.
We do deals in Oakland. I have a deal in North Carolina. We've done deals in Florida and Georgia on leasing.
So now that you bring that up, what if you're an existing landlord and you just kind of want to know your options? Like, is my property marketable to a tenant? But I want to do this confidentially. I don't really want to let anybody know the existing tenant. I just want to kind of know, can I release this building in advance of my primary lease term if my tenant flakes out of me and doesn't renew?
Yeah. So very similar to a sales proposal. If you were thinking about selling your property, we do the same thing on the leasing side. What would your property go for a price per square foot on the leasing?
Okay.
What would who would be the tenants looking for?
Who
that
would be the
property?
best tenants?
Yeah, and then the credit, and we can kind of, based on the other deals, because we do over 70 deals a year, I can tell you, hey, if this is Chick-fil-A, here's what they're going to be looking for on a TI, on the site. If it was, you know, Dave's Hot Chicken, I love hot chicken, so if it's a Dave's Hot Chicken, here's what they're looking for, their site criteria, you know, and we have great working relationships.
Can you ever get a forward commitment from a tenant before the primary lease term is up? So will they ever do that? And how would you do it? You just get like a forward? Let's say there's 1 year remaining.
Yeah, that's probably the best time when it's 1 to 2 years remaining on a lease. That's probably the best time, just because of the permanent process and the timeline.
Do you ever able to buy out the existing tenant out of the lease, even if you don't know they're going to renew or not renew? You just go to them and say, hey, I want to try to buy you out of this lease, and offer them some money and see what happens.
Yeah,
okay.
And typically you're going to do that if you have a.
We've talked a little bit about the listings. Chris can give you a valuation, a simple valuation. What about local people here in LA? Because we've got a ton of great real estate, right? We've got Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
The homes are like 10 to 100 million. If you've got, right now, people have a ton of equity in their homes.
Yeah.
Let's say that somebody has a ton of equity and they want to downscale. They just want to cruise. They want to travel to Europe. They want to go to Hawaii. And maybe they're selling their home. That'd be a great opportunity,
of course,
for you to figure an income for them, and we would love to finance for them as well.
Yeah, we can definitely get you, you know, with the right team to see what your home would appraise for on the residential side. Obviously, I don't do residential.
He doesn't do residential.
I focus extremely only on commercial.
I just bring that up because I know in my area, a lot of people in the Carlsbad have a lot of equity. Rancho Santa Fe here in LA, and there's a lot of people that want to retire. They want to enjoy life. They want to travel. They don't care about a large home. They want freedom. Most of the people buying net lease, that's the main thing. They want freedom to go out on their yacht, to travel wherever they want, security. This is an awesome vehicle for that. And it does meet the 1031 requirement that you know, bonds and stock do not meet municipal bonds, right?
Yeah, and you know, something with this,
it's tangible.
It's tangible, and you have more control. I mean, that's why I kind of prefer these over the, you know, the trust and DSCs that you can exchange into too. I don't like DSCs.
I
don't like the DSTs because you have no control.
DSTs, you know, the problem. I remember 2009. Before that, it was the They were called something else back then, and I can't remember now. But anyway, people bought into these properties, and they would get one good property, and all the other ones were bad.
Low risk, yeah.
And so, like, there was one deal, they bought into an FBI building, and you couldn't go into the building, and FBI went out of it. And so they couldn't re-tenant the building because it was a top secret building.
Yeah, that's a very interesting.
It was a tenants in common in common deal. It was an FBI building. They got all these people to buy into it. I remember the guy telling me about it. I'm stuck in this deal, and they can't even re-tenant it because it's a top secret building.
Yeah, how are you going to do?
You know, so be careful for those deals. They may buy one good deal, and the rest is. Somebody told me, I heard the phrase dumpster diver deal.
Yeah.
Bad properties, they're dumpster divers. You know, you don't want to get into. So I would rather, personally, I don't know, I'd rather own one good net lease that's really clean than to go into some fund where, who knows?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
You remember Madoff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want any Ponzi schemes with your money, right? So if you own the real estate, nobody really can steal that from you.
Except for the government.
Except for the government. But you can own the land and the building, and you're not like in a fund with a bunch of people where, you know, it's a little more risk.
And to that point, I also do like ground leases too. You know,
you like ground leases?
You don't have to own the building.
Like you get no depreciation, right?
You get no depreciation, but there's a little bit less risk involved.
Okay.
You know, sometimes it's viewed as that because the tenant's responsible for everything. They do the building and the construction. So sometimes if you have the dirt and it's valuable dirt, you know, and the tenant, like it's in and out. Maybe they want to build the building because they're going to put a lot into it. They may want to capture the depreciation rights. But I'm not scared off of ground leases because of depreciation. I still am a fan of them, but I do appreciate it.
So how would somebody contact you? What's your address here? What's your address? What street are you on?
We're on Rosecrans.
Okay, he's on Rosecrans.
2321 Rosecrans, I believe.
It's 2321 Rosecrans. El Segundo.
El Segundo, yep.
You know, and if you need financing, we'll come here, we'll meet with you, we'll spend time with you, do like a VIP meeting.
Yeah,
just kind of going over your situation. That's really the main thing, is we got to understand your situation to really effectively, right, Chris?
Of course, yeah.
To give them a good recommendation. You know, there's different uses, there are different loans, depending on your specific situation. There's investment grade tenants, right?
Yep.
That are BBB minus or better. And there's less investment grade. Maybe you're willing to take a little more risk and go into a franchise deal or a deal. A mom and pop deal that you get a higher cap rate.
Yeah.
Right?
And we got a lender that can close the deal.
And I can close deals.
So that's the best.
I've done thousands of net lease deals. I've done, you know, over 100 Walgreens, CVS, 7-Eleven, Jack in the Boxes.
Those are very hot markets.
We just did a Walgreens that I financed 10 years ago, so I'm getting a lot of those Walgreens deals that I did it right after the credit crunch in 11, 12, and 13. And those were with CMBS loans. So I'm refinancing all those past clients, and not to really, you know, be big-headed or anything, but I am getting a lot of repeat clients.
And just
that tells you a lot, right? When you get repeat clients, that's huge. They all are coming back, and we're refinancing those guys.
I wouldn't be a good broker if I didn't say that if you do have a Walgreens or CVS, I would definitely reach out to see what, you know, the value is. And if you're thinking about maybe this is a little bit riskier, maybe you want to exchange it to maybe a little bit something safer, like a fast food play, definitely reach out. There's a lot of activity for Walgreens and CVS. There's a lot of.
Now let me just say that he's with Matthews, but I got to do a shout out to my buddy Jesse Lamone. Now Jesse and I had a client that we did 2 Walgreens 10 years ago, and I didn't really think of you on this deal, but we are co-brokering it with Jesse. So we got 2 Walgreens. You got to check them out. One's in Alabama, and one is in I can't remember what state. But anyway, I'll put those up on this feed. And they're good deals. You should check those out.
I will. So you just heard he owes me 2 deals.
I owe him some deals.
This is California. So
we also have a real Libertos with Jesse Lamone at Marcus Millichap, New York. So we're co-brokering those. But we're getting a lot of people like that that have the stepped up basis, and they're like, they don't want to keep investing. The heirs have got the real estate, they just want to get their money, they got the stepped up basis and they want to move on. So we co-brokered with Jesse on those deals. And they're nice deals. The people just want their money and they want to move on. You know, that's sometimes what happens, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of times what happens, or they want to find something that makes a little bit more sense for what their profile and their lifestyle is.
So Chris, awesome. Thank you again for being on Net Lease TV. Did you give your number, Chris?
It's 310-237-5523 if you want to give me a call, or you can go to my Instagram. The letters STNL, like single tenant net lease,
single tenant
underscore
net lease.
only. So STNL underscore only.
How can they get your TikToks?
Same name. TikTok, STNL.
His TikToks are amazing.
Only.
They're really fun. I'll have to get on TikTok. If you can, send us some TikToks so we can put them inside the Net Lease TV.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I want Net Lease TV.